What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing today, guys? You'll have to excuse my lack of energy and/or enthusiasm. No, it has nothing to do with it being an Atari VCS update. I feel like shoot up dog shit, so that's really all there is to it. But that said, we did wake up to an email today talking about the latest goings on over at the Atari VCS camp. As usual, I will skim over and talk about things that stand out to me. I will leave the link to this blog, this update down in the show notes below. You click on that for your own viewing pleasure to get 100% accurate information. We are just going to skim over this. So, I will say this. I did kind of read through it. Took in as much as I could, given that I'm completely medicated right now and I have medicine in hand. But, I was pretty shocked that there wasn't really any talks of any more delays, so to speak. It may be in the undercurrent of what they're trying to say. It seems like they're justifying all the delays and everything, but you know what? This is a positive article. This information is probably about a year, maybe a half a year late. But regardless, they're moving forward. And let's be perfectly honest with you. I never thought nothing was going to come out. I knew something would come out. Just is it going to be what we want? But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about what this is going over. So they're talking about getting ready for that Eureka moment. You know, everything's in line. We're ready to go forth with this thing. And they have this thing called the Engineer Validation Testing Team, where they're basically putting together units. They're setting up jigs and dealios and refining the process of actually manufacturing these things. And they're testing them out to make sure that they're going to do what they want them to do. And a couple of things that happen within that testing, so to speak, is they found out that the main processor wasn't putting out 4K properly or something to that effect. So they talked to AMD, and AMD came up with a solution and talked to them about it, and apparently that was fixed. Another thing that came out of that testing, supposedly connectivity to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth was improved somehow, and they discovered something within their classic controller that will actually enhance the use of the paddle feature, or wherever that is. It's down here, right? So if that's true information, that's good news. That's really good news, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. And they go on to talk about, mainly they use a whole block of this to say, hey, look, this is why the updates have been the way they have been. This is part of the process, and blah 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 blah. I kind of took offense to a lot of the way they're using their time here, so to speak. It's like they're trying to justify all of their fuckery in the past here. It's kind of bad. It's a bad look, guys. Don't try to justify it. Just move forward with the process. If you're confident in what you have, and it's a confident thing, then a lot of us may turn around, you know, or the people who haven't the need to turn around will be happy. Don't sit here and make excuses. That's the worst thing you can fucking do. And this is why, in this process. No, no, I mean, you're right, but we'll get to that here in a few minutes. All right. So all our preparations, all this stuff. So they show a bunch of pictures of people assembling this thing by hand. This is the slow down process, the version of it, the pregame, so to speak, the scrimmage. And they're trying to find the best ways to go about doing it. Right here, they're showing off. Let me get forward to it. This is where they were talking about the connectivity and all that stuff. Here's some pictures of some assembled product. Never said it was an ugly console. I'll tell you that right now. So they're refining the manufacturing process. So this is what I was trying to get to with jigs and stuff like that. They're trying to find ways to have things specifically placed in certain areas so it's just perfect for the machines and the skilled workers to come and do their job. And they go over that. Like right here, the blue, the turquoise, that's a jig to make sure that the cooling fan goes in exactly perfect. And, you know, so on and so on. And here's just some fancy machinery to do the same thing. You know, you press this and you hit that, and it's all lined up. And the angle of the dangle is in proportion with the heat of the meat. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So then they go on to say the next step is the validation testing. They can put all this stuff in place But if you have no validation at the end of the day that it's going to be for good, then what's the point? So now they supposedly are at that point where everything's ready to go. They have 100 units that they've assembled. They've worked out the kinks in all of them, and they're going through extensive actual testing the product itself. They went from testing the manufacturing process to testing the final product to see how it will come out, given those variables, and yeah, that's really all there is to this article. I will let you again read through it. There was one thing I wanted to point out. I can't remember where it was. Okay, well, regardless, it doesn't matter. It's just the article basically just says that they're going through these testing phases. In my opinion, should it have happened already? Yeah. This is where I think Atari dropped the fucking ball. I think what happened was they got excited, and I think they just popped off too quickly. Not trying to be that guy, because this is actually good news. But if you give in the other side of things, the other one, I'm not gonna say who, they did it. I think they did it a lot better. They had the idea, they came up with the concepts, and they started working on it. And they worked on it extensively for a number of, a good period of time before they even announced that they were working on it. And I think that's the difference here. I think something's going to come out. I just don't think it's going to be what they wanted originally to come out, to be honest with you. And since they got caught with their pants down, they had to come up with something. They came up with this idea, fine. They came up with something. And something's going to come out. I just don't know if it's going to be worth $350, $400, you know what I mean, for an underpowered computer, so to speak. But that's my opinion on it. I mean, that may be exactly what you're looking for, and that's great. That's why I do makes 31 flavors. So, again, I'll leave the link down below to this article. I wish I could find out what that one thing is. I should have written it down here on the notes, but regardless, let's just have a look at some of these pictures. These are ones that they've been testing out. These are a few of the 100. These are some jigs and stuff that they're using. Here's a bunch of people, looking over a board, going, "Wow, we did a great job. Yes, we did. Let's pat ourselves in the back and go have a brew." And there you go. There's your product in full. So, guys, again, check out the article yourself if you want to learn more. And that's really all there is to it. So go ahead and leave your comments down below. Do you think this is positive news? Do you think it's Atari finally in the right direction? I do. I still don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the right direction. So it's a little too late for me personally, but for you again, maybe validation. Like what those teams are. They're validation teams. So guys, go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. And until next time, thank you always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go drink a half a bottle of NyQuil and just drool into a pillow for a couple hours. And that's all there is to it. I hope you're having a great day. Until next time, take care. Creep it real.